Hey guys, so in today's video, I am going to be building Zenitsu's Katana from Demon Slayer. Basically, I'm going to be modifying this here sword so that a homemade taser runs through it in order to replicate thunder breathing. The sword that we're going to be using for this project is this katana that I got off Amazon a few years ago. It was pretty cheap and it's not that great, but that's okay because I wouldn't dare attempt what I'm about to do to this thing to a sword that was any nicer. It's quite rusty, and to be frank, it's not that sharp either. But it'll definitely get the job done, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up a bit, sharpen it, and then modify it.
Since the sword is now prepared, it's time to build the high voltage generator.
Now, before anyone comes after me in the comments, I know that technically in Demon Slayer the elements aren't actually present, and it's more of an artistic representation, even if that low-key makes no sense. But for this one, I'm going to be throwing the series canon aside because I want an excuse to plug a taser into a katana. Now, I'm going to be powering the blade with this cheap high voltage module that I got from Amazon. These are used for a lot of simple high voltage projects. They're usually somewhere between 10 and 40,000 volts. They're advertised anywhere from 400,000 to a million, but I know that they're definitely closer to the range that I described. Alright, so this is a rough circuit diagram for our entire katana. Sorry if it's a little small. Basically, we're going to start with a 3.7 volt LiPo over here, which connects to the main switch, and both of these transformers are going to be wired to the battery in parallel. Now, on the negative ends of both of these transformers, that's going to connect to the blade itself, so they're both going to share that common ground, and there's two separate electrodes that one transformer connects to each. And basically those electrodes are going to be steel wires that are going to sit on top of the blade with a layer of insulation in between it and the blade.
To get all the electronics onto the handle, I designed this part here, 3D printed it, and then I mounted all of the components on there. Since the sword doesn't already have a handguard, I went ahead and laser cut my own and then painted it. After that, all I had to do to finish the handle portion of the sword was get all the electronic components on there and then wrap it. Now, before I placed the electrode on the blade, I obviously had to add some insulation. For that, all I really used was 2 layers of black electrical tape. I had to go really slowly for this part as I was trying to do my best to make sure that no air got trapped underneath the tape. Following that, I also tried to replicate the pattern on Zenitsu's katana by tracing it on yellow tape and then cutting it with an X-Acto knife. With that, the sword was more or less done and ready to test.
Okay, first test in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I forgot to plug it in. Alright, let's try that again. First test, 3, 2, 1. Ow.
I found the short circuit that was causing me to shock myself on the handle, and then after some slight adjustments, I got the electrodes to work more properly.
Okay, the sword is just about complete. I'm about to go take it out for a few test swings. If you guys have been enjoying this build, be sure to like this video and subscribe for all my future projects. And this thing has no practical use and is dangerous as hell. But even so, I'm pretty happy with the results. I mean, this thing is awesome. I forgot to mention, I mean, look, it even has a little secret knife that you can take out. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, and I'd like to point out, not a trained swordsman, just a guy who likes to build things for fun and watches a little too much anime.
雷の呼吸1の型敵歴1000